So I really want to leave most of my time for questions here. I've got a few more points to make, but to summarize, in effect, not quite the end, but the key points are that sea level rise will make short-term flooding worse, but it's different. It's similar to flooding, but those flood events are temporary and they recede and you can rebuild or pump the water out. Sea level can happen quickly, like a storm, a heavy rainfall, downhill runoff, or a king tide, before other forms of flooding. But sea level is permanent, but it's like drip, drip, drip filling the bucket. We know it's going to happen. It's just boring to watch, right? But you know it's going to fill up, or a bathtub, whatever you want. And as sea level is higher, those other flood forms will get higher too. But the difference is sea level won't go down for thousands of years. It'll be the new normal. It's impossible to predict it precisely because of the size of the ice on Antarctica and Greenland, and we can't know exactly how many inches of sea level will rise by the end of the century, frankly. Makes sense. We don't know when the next San Francisco earthquake is going to be. We don't know when the next avalanche is going to be in the Alps. We don't know when Yellowstone's going to blow. We don't know a lot of geologic predictions. We don't know when the next mudslide will happen in California. Sea level has now passed the tipping point. We've got so much heat in the atmosphere and the oceans particularly that it is unstoppable for a long time. We can slow it if we reduce greenhouse gases, the carbon emissions, particularly carbon dioxide, and we should really try and do that with all haste. That is the only practical way to slow the warming, but the effect is like slowing a supertanker. It's slow. When you take, even when you put it into reverse, the ship's still going forward. So we've got to get very realistic here. The current projections, as I said to you already, is by 2060, 1 to 3 feet. That's 40 years from now, a little beyond the mortgage cycle. By the end of the century, somewhere between 3 and 8 feet. Those projections could get worse.